Hey guys, Toast here, and welcome to another episode of Overwatch How to Play. This is a series that focuses on each Overwatch character's backstory, covers their basic mechanics and abilities, and discusses tips to play each character. Today's focus is Genji. The youngest son of the Shimada clan, Genji lived a life of luxury and privilege. He had little interest in the illegal dealings of his family, and despite excelling at and enjoying his ninja training, he spent the vast majority of his time pursuing a playboy lifestyle. Many in the clan considered Genji to be a dangerous liability and resented his father for protecting him. Following the untimely death of the clan's leader, Genji's older brother Hanzo demanded that Genji take a more active role in the Empire. But Genji refused his brother, deeply angering Hanzo, which led to a forceful confrontation and left Genji on the verge of death. Hanzo believed he had killed his brother, but little beknownst to him, Genji had been rescued by Overwatch and Dr. Angela Ziegler, also known as Mercy. Overwatch saw Genji as a potential asset in their ongoing battle with the Shimada clan. With Genji's injuries leaving him clinging to life, Overwatch offered to rebuild his body in exchange for his assistance. Genji was put through an extensive process of cyberization, which enhanced his speed, precision, agility, and augmented his already nearly mastered ninja skills. With this newfound life, Genji is focused on bringing down his family's criminal empire. But as time passed, Genji grew increasingly self-deprecating, coming to hate the mechanical body parts and what he had become. Upon completion of his goal, he abandoned Overwatch and wandered the world in search of peace. Eventually crossing paths with the Omnic monk Zenyatta, Genji fell under his tutelage and reconciled his dual existence as both man and machine. For the first time in his life, Genji truly feels free. Even he cannot say where his path will ultimately lead. Now that we have a little backstory on Genji, let's take a look at the basic mechanics of this half-man, half-ninja warrior. Genji fills the offense role in this game and has 200 health with no armor and no shield. This makes him somewhat easy to kill from a damage perspective, but his extreme maneuverability and high damage makes him a formidable opponent. Genji's primary weapons are his shuriken. Genji hurls 3 deadly throwing stars in quick succession, dealing high damage per star. The basic attack is akin to burst firing, with each star going directly behind the next in a straight line. The shuriken have a bit of travel time, making the foresight to anticipate your target's movements very useful. Genji does have an alternative fire with his shuriken, in which he throws the 3 shuriken in a single widespread arc that decreases drastically in accuracy the further away the target is. This alternate fire mode allows him to fire faster, dealing more damage quickly to close range targets, but it's very ineffective at anything more than close range. Genji does have 2 passive abilities. The first is Wall Run, where he's able to scale most walls in the game, allowing him to reach locations that other heroes may not be able to get to. This mechanically works exactly like his brother Hanzo's. Genji also has a second passive ability in which he's able to double jump by tapping the jump button or key a second time after having first initiated a jump. This allows him to even more quickly get to advantageous positions and take his targets by surprise. Genji's first ability is called Swift Strike. Genji darts forward, slashing with his katana and passing through all foes in his path. If Genji eliminates any target and the ability is on cooldown, the cooldown timer will instantly be reset. The distance traveled with this ability is minimal, however the ability does 50 damage, meaning that if you're capable of getting a couple hits from your shuriken as well, it's easy to drop a target and have a small escape readily available again right after. Swift Strike has an 8-second cooldown. Genji's second ability is called Deflect. With lightning-quick reflexes, Genji rapidly swipes his swords, reflecting any incoming projectiles and sending them back toward his enemies. I dub this ability the Bastion Beater, as it turns Bastion's extremely high damage per second in sentry mode right back on him. If Genji's looking back at the source of the projectiles, then the projectiles will hit the target for full damage. This works on almost all projectiles in the game, including McCree's Flashbang and Ultimate, Pharah's Ultimate, and even Hanzo's Ultimate if you can manage to hit the arrow right at the very start of the shot. Deflect has an 8-second cooldown. Genji's ultimate ability is called Dragon Blade. Genji brandishes his katana for a brief period of time. During this time, Genji is able to deliver killing strikes to any target within his reach. Each strike of Dragon Blade does 120 damage, meaning that most targets in the game can be taken out in 2 swipes, with the heftiest targets in the game taking up to 5. During Dragon Blade, Genji can still use either of his other 2 abilities as well as his passives, making for a seriously deadly combo in the right hands. Dragon Blade lasts for 9 seconds. Now that we have an understanding of his abilities, let's move on to Genji's strengths and weaknesses. As mentioned previously, Genji is an offense character, so to get the most benefit out of playing him, you need to get up close and personal. His weapons still do quite a lot of damage from afar, however, due to the travel time and the need to lead your target at a distance, his effectiveness is muted once you get past mid-range. Genji's biggest strengths are his outright damage and his mobility. His throwing stars can do significant damage both at close and medium range, and the combination of his passives and his Swift Strike means that he can get around the map with extreme agility. Genji also has the fastest base movement in the game, allowing him to get to his destination even quicker than most other characters. Genji's biggest weakness, however, and what usually ends up being his downfall, is that he falls into the lower end of the health pool and needs to be in mid to close range in order to be most effective. This means that he needs to often be in a fairly dangerous situation in order to score an elimination, so you'll need to plan your attacks to try and get the element of surprise as often as possible. Now let's cover some tips and tactics to play as Genji. Genji's deflect can be a saving grace in many situations. Whenever you intend to go into a fight, try to make sure that this ability is off cooldown so that you have it at your disposal when you need it most. Anticipation is key with this ability, and if you can analyze the situation properly and anticipate when enemies are going to do their highest damage or most disruption, you have the capability of turning this right back on them. Try to use your Swift Strike as an initiator whenever possible. Due to the fact that the cooldown resets when you finish off an enemy, you have another strong attack ready whenever needed, or a potentially useful escape to be paired with your additional movement abilities. Dragon Blade is best initiated when flanking the enemies. By starting Dragon Blade from behind them, you have a few moments to get in some swipes before they really know what's going on. Don't forget to use your other abilities when Dragon Blade is active if they're needed. If the enemy team starts to focus you during the ability, using Deflect might be more beneficial to you and your team than getting an extra swipe out of Dragon Blade. Use your double jump frequently during fights to throw off the enemy. The fact that Genji has 2 jumps available to him at all times means that you have the ability to double jump around while attacking your enemies, making you a far more challenging target to acquire, and given Genji's lower health, this could mean the difference between life and death. But that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you feel better equipped to play Genji now, or if there are some aspects that I missed that you want to share. If you liked the video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more content, please subscribe and follow me on Facebook and Twitter, links in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Toast, and I'll talk to you soon.